This season for us is a historic season in CPL, guys. I never seen a team play in this way, so
we are the best one.
It's our trophy to defend. We've got to do the hard way on the road.
We're going to TD Place. We've actually got a good record of late, and we actually like going there. And maybe it's us that's the antagonist, and maybe we go to spoil their party.
Cavalry going back-to-back, hoisting the North Star Cup, or for the first time on home field, can Atletico Ottawa finish the job in what has been a dream season?
You're watching the 2025 Canadian Premier League Championship game, and yes, Mother Nature has come out to play as well. She is making this a true Canadian final. For the third straight year, Cavalry FC will play for the North Star Cup. They won it for the first time last year. They want to keep their title, and check it out, Atletico Ottawa. They are back in the final for the first time since 2022. Their fans are ready. They are undefeated at home this year, and they hope that streak continues on a day when it matters most. Hello, Canada, and welcome inside TD Place for the CPL final. Yes, it is a Canadian final. It is a snow bowl out there, and we are inside a place that has hosted many great soccer matches. We have Olympic Games, 1976. We have Women World Cup matches from 2015, and now for the second time ever, the CPL final. Andy Petrillo alongside the guys here. I got Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson, and Jimmy Brennan. Turns out, Wheels, we have a third team here today, Mother Nature.
And she's winning. Absolutely. This is awesome. This is a quintessential Canadian sporting moment, and this is the makings of an iconic day that we're going to talk about, forget years, but decades to come. And I feel like it's appropriate, the Toronto Blue Jays and the run that they had. Their first game at Exhibition Stadium, 1977, snow. The 96 Grey Cup, one of the most famous ones, McManus to Eddie Brown, like you remember him kicking the ball in the snow. And of course, in recent vintage, we had the Azteca, where Canada beat Mexico on their way to qualify for the World Cup. So look, the players are going to have to adapt. The conditions are going to play a massive role here today, but speaking to them coming into the stadium, they're all up for it. Everyone's in great spirits, guys, so let's go. I cannot wait to see this play out.
It's a cold day. My body's shivering, but it's playoff football. It's playoff football, and this is the beautiful country of Canada. Sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's snow like this, Jimmy, but it's a great day to be here.
I have 25 layers on, and I'm still freezing. But when you think about a Canadian championship, you expect snow. And to see this today, I think it's unbelievable. And you're right, when we saw the players coming in, they're all excited to get this going.
Nobody was discouraged, that's for sure. But I have to say, my notes here are wet. The ink has been dripping, but I think I know what's coming up next. It's the bracket. That's right. Let's check it out. Reminder how these two teams made it to the final. Ottawa finished second in the standings, played Forge in the championship semi-final, beating the Hammers for the first time this season. That win sent them straight to the final, hence why they are hosting. Cavalry, a bit of a longer route for them. After finishing third, they had to beat York United, then they beat Forge to get to this point. So we do have some cover here. Yes, we are complaining like some divas, but out in the elements, we do have our two reporters. Mackenzie Barwell, we'll hear from her in just a moment. But Christian Jack, my friend, you are out there. How's it feel?
You know what? It's great. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's wet, it's white, it's wonderful, it's winter, and it's all for a winner here in the Canadian Premier League final. You know, covering this great league since the start, I'm often asked, what are the most important parts of the Canadian Premier League? Sometimes I talk Premier in the league. Sometimes I talk it's a league. Today we talk Canadian. That is the most important word out of the three, and it's all about the body language for me. Since we've been here this week, I have to say Cavalry have had the right body language, been very comfortable in their own skin as reigning champions, and Ottawa not quite sure how to react right now. Obviously they're favourites at home and not winning the big game. But heading into this game, and the body language is obviously very different tonight with the elements. I think back to my experience in covering this great game. I think about the time we were in Edmonton, and not necessarily the Mexico game, but the Costa Rica game, when I was in their hotel and they ordered 30 boxes of toques and woolly hats, and that's when I knew that that team was going to lose that day to Canada. I talked to Alberto Zapata, the veteran about 20 minutes ago. He walked to the stadium. He will play his last professional game here today. He told me when he played in Russia in the Europa League in February, he played for Lokomotiv Moscow against Atletico Bilbao. He said that they ran out that day in short sleeves, and it was all about mentality to show the other group that they wanted it more. I think about my good friend Simon Thomas, the Canadian soccer player who plays in the wonderful city of Tromsø in Norway, and they play in elements like this all the time. He always tells me it's won up here in games like this. It's a fantastic spectacle. It's a wonderful day for Canadian football, and it will be won today by one team, and you can't help but think, once again, it's going to be a win in the mind, not necessarily on the field, guys.
Well, KJ, thank you for reminding me that I am most definitely mentally weak. I am not running outside in short sleeves and shorts at all. As we take a look at Atletico Ottawa's starting 11, I mean, this is pretty much a stacked roster. As we know, a lot of eyes, of course, will be on Sam Salter, the Golden Boot winner, and at the CPL Awards on Friday, walking away with the Player of the Year and the Players' Player of the Year voted on by his peers. So that is always special for a player. So let's take a look at this team, because someone else who was in that Players' Player of the Year finalist, that was David Rodriguez. I mean, that is a teammate as well. A lot of people feel could have easily won that too, with the amount of firepower they have on this team, Wheels.
Atletico Ottawa, one of the best stories, if not the best, in the Canadian Premier League this season. They went for a team in recent years. They played very conservative, sometimes, dare I say it, boring football. But this team, under a brand new manager in Diego Mahia this year, brought a different swagger, personality. They scored the most goals in the season in league history. Yeah. Then they're the entertainers of the Canadian Premier League. So we can talk about their stars in Salter and Tabla and Rodriguez. This team is young. They're hungry, they play football the right way, and you can't take your eyes off them. They deserve to host this final here today. Now they're back on the biggest stage possible.
Yeah, setting that single season record for goals scored with 54. Let's hear from their head coach, Diego Mahia, who's with our Mackenzie Barwell.
Diego, pretty fitting for your first year as a head coach in the Canadian Premier League. I know you said you're only focused on the things you can control, but this environment is a hard thing to ignore. How excited are you for this match today?
It's incredible. I feel as a kid, you know, I want to play. It's incredible. So that's the thing that this league has, and we accept, and it's incredible, guys. It's a good environment to play a final.
Cavalry are a battle-tested side. They've played in environments like this. They have championship-level experience, but you've had success against them this season. What are some of the things within your control to break them down in this final?
Yeah, but I don't play. My players play in this environment as well, so I think that will be hard, will be a empty match, a tie match. I think that the team that commit, let me say, is gonna win.
You've said that in your 6 championships that you won in Mexico, one of the things you regret is not focusing so much on the result, wishing you were more present. How have you instilled that mindset of just enjoying the moment within your group?
Yeah, we cannot control the result. We control the way that we play with brave, play with passion, play with the attitude that we have during the game. So I think that if our team controls that situation, we will be close to win that match.
Thanks for your time, Diego. Stay warm today. Good luck, Coach. Andy? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mackenzie. Diego saying it there. You know, the players are the ones out there playing. He's done all he can do now to prepare them for this ultimate moment. But, you know, Jordan, this has been a team that was holding on to that top spot for most of the season. Forge came in, you know, in the last few weeks and ended up getting the CPL Shield. But what made Atletico Ottawa so successful?
Well, they play the same way. They play such an attacking style. They went forward, they were methodical, they moved the ball and tried to go forward. Diego Mahia said so many times, Jimmy, that they're not going to change up anything about how they play. Well, you got to alter some things today. The elements are kicking. Look, a game like this where the grass, you can see the turf, that's totally fine, Jimmy. But the snowmageddon, the snow out there, let's see what this Atletico Ottawa side is made of. But this is going to be our fixture, and let's see if they can adapt to it.
Look, what I like about this team is they're tactically sound. They're very tactically sound. They move the ball well. They invite the press at times. And when they play through teams, the attacking power that they have going forward with Antonor, Dos Santos, Rodriguez, Tabla, and then obviously the hidden threat, Salter. You know he loves scoring bags of goals. So they have threats all over the park. But I love just tactically how good they are. And everybody's bought into the way that Mahia wants to play.
Yeah.
Well, also pretty strong, and we know can score some goals, is Cavalry. As we take a look at their starting 11, last year they had the Golden Boot winner in Tobias Reshevsky, who has managed to turn up the heat here near the end as well, heading into the playoffs. Camargo will be on the bench, gentlemen. We know he hasn't played yet in the playoffs because he got injured near the end of the season. He was having a fantastic year, but even that veteran presence and having him there, and it looks like Tommy will be able to go to him, is also something that's really nice for them in this finals game. Let's hear from their head coach, Tommy Wheeldon Jr. with our KJ.
Tommy, how brilliant is this? You haven't even brought a coat out, mate.
This weather's for the brave, right? I'm keeping that dry, I think, for the game.
Listen, you've been a day oneer. This is something new for you as well. How does this affect your team? What do you tell them?
Well, first ever game was in the snow, and I guess my game now is my last game of this season is in the snow. I think it's going to turn from a musical into an action movie. I think that's what this weather conditions. You got to play the conditions, play the game, play the opponent.
For those who've never played it, then, when you say play the conditions, what actually do you mean?
Well, I think when we had the game against Pumas, we said that it's cold. You know, they're going to want a little bit of time on the ball, foot on the ball, things like that, and I don't think in these conditions you can. So I think it's going to be a bit more direct, a bit more about individual duels, and no mistakes.
Last one for you. You've made no changes to your 11, but Sergio Camargo, one of the best players this league has seen this season, has come back and is on the bench. What can you tell us about his availability?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, he started joining us training last 2 days, past fit and ready to make an involvement, and he gave a really good speech about the importance of Kenny Alva and deferred to him, even though he's up for Player of the Year. He's deferred to another teammate and ready to come in and make an impact the way he can. So to look along my bench and have guys like him, Guti and Brad, who started in last year's final, and also a little bit of freshness with Levi, Baldy and Saluf, it gives us a really good bench.
The big question, though, is a hat coming out, or are you letting the locks flow the whole night?
The hat's definitely coming out for this one.
Thanks, Tommy. Andy, back to you.
We love a good flow, but hey, you know what? Tommy's also good for a solid quote. Wow. It's gone from a musical to an action movie. That's what we're going to see here today. But are you maybe a little bit surprised here, Wheels, that Cavalry is in their third straight final, going for a back-to-back title? Because the expectations we put on Cavalry, knowing how they can play, it wasn't exactly the strongest year, finishing third.
No, but by the way, the action movie would be great, but they're hoping that the sequel isn't a bust at the box office because they were so good last season in the run-in to go on and win the North Star Cup. And this season, you're right, the regular season was a little bit of a slog. A lot of the similar players, but I don't want to call it a hangover because they did so well, becoming the first Canadian Premier League team to beat a Liga MX, a Mexican top-flight club, to kick off their season. Then it became a little bit stale. They added a couple very important pieces during the season. Dan Klomp, a former Defender of the Year, captain of this team, a former Player of the Year in the Canadian Premier League, and Gauthier Intigny, the player that played with him a couple years ago, blazing pace down that left-hand side. And guess what? They've hit their stride. Their form right now is as good as it's been as I've seen them. And right now in this position, I actually think this team's better than the team that won the North Star Cup last season. They're dangerous, they're still hungry, and they still feel like they have something to prove here today.
Yeah, look, I like the way that they're playing, and I think Tommy Williams finally found that lineup that he really trusts and can work with. Throughout the season, went through maybe July where they struggled a little bit, didn't get the results that they wanted. I think people started questioning them, but he's put a great squad together. And if I look at that front three, especially with Alva up top, Wachowski underneath, Musi out right, and Tigny on the left, they are dynamic going forward. Sean and Kobza have been absolutely brilliant for me, but I think this is the best lineup at the moment, and that's why they're getting the results. Plus, you've got Camargo who can come off the bench and make them even stronger.
You got to look at it as being a trilogy as well. Like the third year, being in the finals, if they can get this win, Cavalry, the league and everyone has to put some respect on Tommy Wheeldon Jr. and company. It was a slow start, but a win today, Dynasty talks might have to be in question.
And the thing about Cavalry, Andy, is that over the years, they've always been one of the best defensive sides in the league. This team scores goals for fun now. 27 goals in their last 12 games. They're electric. I like that Jimmy said that. Like, no Camargo in the starting 11, but I think the combination of Tobias Reshevsky, who's a beast. He scored in every playoff game he's played in, with Kenny Alva leading the line, an absolute class player. I just think that they're going to be a really tough matchup for Atletico Ottawa here today.
Yeah, Reshevsky with 5 goals in 4 playoff playoff games. He has always scored. He is quite the lethal weapon, that's for sure. I can hear the fans coming on in, guys. They are starting to let them into the stadium here, and they are still banging away on those drums. They're ready to go. Well, earlier this week, the Canadian Premier League kicked off its CPL final weekend festivities with its annual soccer celebration day presented by Burnbrae Farms. Ahead of tonight's final, CPL players enjoyed their time with the West Ottawa Soccer Club and active newcomer Youth Ottawa inside the Sooners Dome here in our nation's capital. And in appreciation of the community support, the Canadian Premier League and Burnbrae Farms awarded annual $5,000 to help fuel their work supporting newcomers and immigrant children and youth as they become proud Canadians.
The sale is amazing. Whoa! Language? This is not a sale. Walmart's everyday low prices just feel like a sale.
Oh, so these aren't done.
Sale!
Sorry.
It's okay.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Tell me, just who do you think you are?
To get down. 1, 2, 3, get loose now.
From nutritious feed to 7 times omega, enjoy the goodness of Nature Egg Omega Plus eggs. A lot goes into a little at Burnbrae Farms.
We've already got tons of WestJet points.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we?
I'm booking it.
Your next travel story is waiting. Make it happen with the all-new WestJet Rewards.
Well, you're taking a look at some of the visuals there of the Canadians in the U17 World Cup. Lots of success there, goals being scored, Canadians traveling well, and the youth, as we know, are definitely being developed here in the Canadian Premier League. By the way, Sergei Kozlowski, who plays for Atletico Ottawa, is competing in that tournament. The young defender who has made quite a name for himself. And Atletico Ottawa having a dominant season and getting here to the final. They led the league with the most U21 minutes as well. So let's talk a little bit about that, gentlemen, when it comes to the national team, because as much as we say this league is important for the senior team, which it is, it also starts at the grassroots, Jimmy. And when you're seeing guys like Kozlowski, when you're seeing Sholajimo as well, who plays for York, who's playing right now for Canada at U17, how important is this league even for that type of development?
Well, that's what this league's about. And I love that they implemented that you had to have a certain amount of players getting certain minutes at the under 21, which allows these kids that are 16, 17, 18 playing in this league week in and week out. And then when you do go play in these international tournaments, it's so different from them because they're used to playing against men, but now they're playing against their own age, and they really stand out. And that was a terrific result for that Canadian national team, and it's wonderful to see kids from the Canadian Premier League getting a shot playing international football.
And that's why today is such a feel-good story for Atletico Ottawa, because they had over 8,500 U21 minutes. They're playing kids, but they're using them week in and week out and making sure that they're developing and playing great football. That's why the fans want them to win. That's why Diego Mahia deserves a lot of credit for bringing them in. Wheels, you only have to get 2,000. They had 8,500.
Yeah.
Like, they're playing kids week in and week out, but they're quality. So hopefully those boys can be big boys tonight and get the job done. But it's a feel-good story for Atletico Ottawa for sure.
I feel like people in Canadian soccer talk to their blue in the face about player pathways and the best way to go on and develop players. You need to see the fruits of the labor, though. And the thing that takes the program forward is actual moments, actual results. And the fact that they have their first win at the Under-17 World Cup, a come-from-behind victory against Uganda. They drew France. I think that even if you're not a soccer fan watching right now, you know that France is a pretty good nation in terms of developing footballers. So these are two big results for a youth program, quite frankly, that's been underfunded for years and hasn't given young players enough opportunity. They're getting their opportunity playing the Canadian Premier League. That's where they're getting their opportunity. And to see it come together in a big way with more games to come in Qatar is pretty special stuff. So all aboard the bandwagon. Let's go.
A little bit more on the national team, as we know they're going to be playing the game on Thursday in Toronto. We'll see if the snow comes down for them too. They played in it before.
Sure, Ecuador's going to love it.
So Alphonso Davies is close to returning to training with Bayern Munich, and we've talked a lot about how guys, in particular Richie Larreyes, look good on that left side. If you're Jesse Marsh, where do you fit Alphonso Davies in? Do people who have been calling for him, you know, playing a little further up the pitch, are they going to be satisfied here, maybe?
Another conversation. I think we've had this conversation. I think we do it every week on One Soccer Direct. Look, Davies, no matter where he plays, is going to make Canada a better team on the field. And there have been some good performances, and there has been some good results. The process here is what I'm looking at with Bayern Munich. I'm going to be watching them week in, week out to see how he's re-amalgamating back into the team. Because I think that for Davies, you got to be a little bit patient. He is a Rolls Royce. He is a Ferrari. You need to handle this player with care. So whether you're Bayern Munich or the Canadian men's national team, look, he needs to be peaking heading into the World Cup. So let's just see how this process plays out. But certainly Davies on the field for Canada, a true game changer and a match winner, and they have very few of them.
Yeah, look, I like him down that left side. I love him because, for me, that's where he needs to be. And I think sometimes he would get frustrated over the last number of years where things weren't going well, or maybe you're down 1-0, 2-0. He felt like he had to take, you know, the game by him on his own and make something happen. But I think the way that this team has evolved and the players that we have, he doesn't have to do that anymore. And I like him on the left-hand side. We've got the midfielder who I think is locked down. I love our back line. And is he going to play? 100%. He has to play in this national team.
But you like him as left back?
I like him down that left side.
Okay.
He says left side, and
I like him
no.
Sitting on the fence over
I will
there.
tell it what Jimmy should say. He should play left wing.
That's what I'm
He needs to play further up. Richie Larrey has been fantastic as a left back, but it's something to consider. Marsh needs to consider playing him higher and see what happens. Tejan Buchanan on the right.
Yeah.
Having Alphonso Davies on the left. That is a dynamic duo. They will tear up the wing.
The only reason why I'm saying down the left-hand side, because I think he's better coming from distance. And if you got an inverted winger, that gives him that runway to get down that line. And I think that's where he's best at. I don't think he's best when he's tight 1v1 trying to get past someone. Because of his pace and power, I think he needs to come a little bit deeper.
Can you tell who's the manager on the panel, by the way?
Right inverted. There. Hey, I'll just say this, though. We might be having the wrong conversation because it might not be what's best for Alphonso Davies. It's probably what's best for Canada. And the way that Ali Ahmed of Vancouver Whitecaps has played for this Canadian men's national team, he plays exactly the way that Jesse Marsh wants his team to play. His pressing and defensive metrics are off the charts. It provides a platform for that chaotic attacking approach at times. It's worked for Canada. So I'm not sure you can take Ali Ahmed out of that role and the way that he plays, which would lead to Jimmy's answer that he needs to play a little bit further back.
This is why I asked the question. By the way, we can keep an eye on Alphonso Davies when he does return to Bayern Munich's lineup. Why? Because we are now the home of the Bundesliga. So you can watch the Canadian men's national team back in action this Thursday. They take on Ecuador 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and then on the 18th, they will be against Venezuela 8:30 p.m. ET. You can see the snowplows working hard behind us. That's right, those guys are putting in a shift right now. We're hearing that kickoff is going to be delayed by 10 minutes, but it's happening, baby. Oh, it's happening. The CPL final right here on One Soccer and TSN.
Sale is amazing. Whoa! Language? This is not a sale. Walmart's everyday low prices just feel like a sale.
Oh, so these aren't on.
Sale!
Sorry.
It's okay.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
I do this for my town, my time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
This ultimate mouth-watering moment is brought to you by the big, bold, ultimate taste of Ultimate Chicken Hot Dogs, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Tell me, just who do you think you are?
This match is brought to you by Walmart.
The snow is coming down in the nation's capital, but they're letting the fans in. Yes, body heat. We need body heat. And for the first time ever in CPL history, Forge is not in the final. It is Atletico Ottawa hosting Cavalry FC. Let's go pitch side. Christian Jack with a very special guest.
Thank you very much. With the president of CONCACAF, Mr. Victor Montagliani. I was just thinking, you have different climates all the time under your region. You're in the Caribbean one day, then now you're here.
We're not in the Caribbean?
You're not in the Caribbean today, Victor. Doesn't get more Canadian than this. How special is this?
It actually is quite special because you know what? How many people watching, how many people here have played in this kind of weather when they were youngsters as well? So you know what? It's nostalgic, and the final's a final. It doesn't matter what conditions.
And the Canadian Premier League has always found a way to keep going. What's your view of that as we head into this with two teams knowing that the winner will go into the CONCACAF Champions Cup as well?
Yeah, which is great. I mean, the winner of this will make it 4 Canadian teams. Obviously, the Whitecaps are in from the MLS standpoint. Vancouver FC, Forge is in, and so the winner of this. So it's a fantastic opportunity. And listen, this league, you know what? The outset, it was about creating a Canadian industry in every facet, off the field especially, not just on the field. And I think this league, plus the 3 MLS teams and now the Canadian women's team, we are creating an industry. And I think that, to me, is the thing as Canadians we have to be most proud of.
And building an industry needs builders like yourself. You were honored this week in the Canadian Premier League Award by being the first winner of the Builders Award. What did that make you feel?
It's an honor. It's an honor because, you know, listen, football is about, you know, some of us get an opportunity to dig the dirt and put in the seeds, and maybe you don't eventually, as I said last night, you don't get the grapes and make the wine. Somebody else has to do that. But we're all in it together. It doesn't matter what part of the journey you're on, and I'm just happy that I could play a role. But now it's up to, you know, people that are at the league and people that are at Canadian soccer to really take it to the next level. Obviously, you know, as president of CONCACAF and FIFA vice president, I'm there to support. And obviously, my heart's always Canadian. I'm there to support, plus in terms of my country.
You mentioned digging. There's been some digging tonight here in Ottawa. It's not that long ago you were in a conference talking about the weather in the World Cup and what time kickoffs might be, and now we're here in the snow. Yeah. Not long to go to the World Cup, Victor. You're excited for Canada to host as well?
Yeah, very excited. I think, you know what, you know, the team is obviously on a journey. Jesse's got him playing some pretty good opponents. And you know what? I think he wants to win every game, I'm sure. But I think he's even happy when they lose to an Australia because they're going to learn from that, right? A team that plays a low block. And I think you know what? I could see the preparation. It's going quite well. And I think they're going to do quite well. And I think they'll be ready.
You're going to be sitting up there, but I'm sure you'd love to play in a game like this, no?
And listen, if they're short a player, I'm in. Maybe for 10 minutes, but I'm in.
Thanks so much, Victor. Back to you, Andy.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Well, Atletico dominated the season series with Calgary, opening their 2025 campaign with an emphatic 3-1 win in Calgary, putting the rest of the league on notice. 2 months later, Ottawa again walked into Spruce Meadows, delivered A pretty big win ending Cavalry's 8-game unbeaten streak. And then even when it shifted, Atletico hit back for 2 second-half goals in a 2-2 draw in August. And then they wrapped up the series late in September. Another win, 3-0. So yes, Atletico Ottawa has dominated, scoring a resounding 10-3 as well over Cavalry in those games. So we'll see if Ottawa's dominance carries over to tonight's anticipated North Star Cup final. And yes, there are some great matchups on the field, but it is definitely going to be one Golden Boot winner going after another.
Tonight, the previous and current CPL Golden Boot winners battle for a bigger prize, and no players will play a bigger part in deciding this cup final. What's made Calgary's Toby Warshevsky and Ottawa's Sam Salter so special in 2025 isn't just their recent knack for scoring, it's their journeys. Both are the result of the CPL's mission to be a springboard for young and often overlooked talent. Or in Warshevsky's case, a place where he could enjoy football again. The German nearly walked away from the game before taking a chance on this league. He's since become one of its premier scorers, and perhaps its best all-around forward.
Tobias Warshevsky, it had to be him!
Opposite him is a CPL record holder. Ottawa's Sam Salter has scored 24 times this year. It's become easier to add up the games he hasn't contributed in. What's made Salter's season so special has been his consistency and ability to score in different ways, something that hasn't gone unnoticed.
Of course the golden boy is there to nod at home!
The Quebec-born striker will join top Swedish side Gais next year. We'll find out tonight if he'll move to Scandinavia as a CPL champion.
These guys can definitely score. Sam Salter setting a single-season record in the CPL with his 19 goals this year. And how about Tobias Warshevsky? We mentioned it earlier. He has scored in every playoff game that he has played in. So let's take a look at these two here. Jordan, I'll start with you. And I want to make this interesting because I want you to give the benefit to one. So what makes the two of them so special, and who do you think has the edge tonight?
Well, the most frightening player on the pitch is Tobias Warshevsky. He's almost like the Hulk. If he gets angry, get out of his way. He can bully players and get going forward. But you look at Sam Salter, what a year that he's had. This is the last piece to the puzzle. This is him going out tonight, scoring a goal for the club that's giving him that confidence. Who do I like better on the day? I have to go with Warshevsky, because he's just been that dangerous. 5 goals and 4 appearances in playoffs. I played against him in 2022. He is a monster. He can bully, he has the technique, he can get around players. But this is a battle of the nines, Wheels. Whether it be Warshevsky, whether it be Sam Salter. Sam Salter also plays so well with Rodriguez and Tabla, and he has those moments where he's scoring headers or he's getting on the back end of crosses. So again, it's who's feeling the best on the day, but then you have the element of the snow. Who's feeling ready to be most Canadian, to put it on the line, to get things going for their club. So this is just a beautiful story all around.
There's just two players that play in a different way as well. Both effective, both as dangerous as they come, but Warshevsky likes to drift all over the field. He checks a little bit deeper, he goes to the right, and I actually think with Sergio Camargo's absence here tonight, where he plays more of a 10 role, gives him the freedom to drop deep, because we sit there week in, week out, and Jimmy and I are talking, it's like, we want him in the box. That's exactly what Sam Salter is. He is that fox in the box. He is that player that's getting on the end of chances, and Atletico Ottawa creates a whole lot of them. We know what Warshevsky's about. He's never lost a playoff game in the Canadian Premier League. He was the MVP of the finals last year. I'm not sure we know what to expect when it comes to Sam Salter in this final. He hasn't been in this place before. Fantastic season. I didn't see a season like this coming from Sam Salter, but this is where you put the cherry on top and say, I didn't have just a great season, but I finished on that high as well. So I'm curious to see what Salter's going to bring to the table here tonight.
For me, I like Sam Salter, the way he plays. And you're right, they do play completely different. But Sam Salter, for me, has got to play in the width of the 18-yard box down the pitch.
Yeah.
Simply because he likes to get in behind. He'll make those runs. He'll be aggressive. He holds up the ball well. Warshevsky, he's all over the park. But then, at the same time, when he does dribble, on the dry pitches, he likes it close.
Yeah.
and he's got great mobility. But tonight, I don't know how his dribbling is going to be, and I think it's going to benefit Sam Salter, who needs half a chance. And if he gets a service tonight, he'll be the guy sliding on his back to try to put the ball in the back of the net.
Jimmy, you're alluding to it, but his movement is sensational, Sam Salter, and that's something that he's improved on over the past couple of years, but he put it all together this season. 19 goals in 28 games, no pens. I don't think we'll ever see that again in the Canadian Premier League.
I love how we just keep showing the highlights from the summer. Remember when it was like 30 degrees and it was really hot and they had to take the water breaks?
No hydration break tonight, please.
They need hot chocolate breaks here tonight as they are out warming up. And you're right. At the end of the day, we can say what they did all season long. The snow is going to just play a different factor in all of this. So that's up front. That's the attack when it comes to both these teams, and we know we can do that. Let's go to the battle.
The shorts, like the
He's
shorts.
out in the
Good
shorts.
sign.
What was
Good
that?
sign.
It's all about being mentally tough. Yep, that's okay. He's brave.
Look at Fraser Aird, short sleeves.
Different.
But
Love it.
Everyone's wearing the
Love
gloves,
it.
though. You got to protect the digits. You got to protect the fingers
Let's
there.
talk about that orange ball.
You have to. No white ball. You got to go. Like, you got to be able to see it. Midfield battle. Manny Aparicio and Shamit Shom. All right, tell me what makes these two successful here, Wheels, and who are you picking?
Well, I love Manny Aparicio. Like, I just love him as a player. He played under Jimmy Brennan over there, so we can address that player more, but he's the engine. For me, when you look at the top 5 candidates or the players that were in the running for league MVP, I was actually quite surprised that Aparicio wasn't part of that group. He's a little bit of an unsung hero. It's just because the attacking players ahead of him get all the headlines, but he's the heartbeat of this Atletico Ottawa team. Not only that, on a horrendous night in 2021 in Hamilton, Ontario, was played in December, the final was, he was part of that Pacific team that went on an upset Forge that day. This could be another crowning moment for him. Look, Shamit Shom covers an incredible amount of ground, and I really like him as a player as well. But for me, Aparicio is one of the best that this league has ever seen.
Look, Manny Aparicio, for me, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going. He loves to get in behind. He tracks his runners. For me, I love the way that he plays, just the energy, because the team feeds off of the way that he plays. And you see that the level gets lifted with Aparicio once he sets the tone. Now, Shom, for me, is one of my favorite midfielders in this league. He does a lot of dirty work behind the scenes that nobody sees. And times I don't think he does get the credit that he deserves, and it's just because the way that he plays. He reads the game well, he breaks up plays, and as soon as he does get it, he wants to go forward. But it's the dirty work that he does that I love and appreciate.
Today's game is about the midfielder that has that protection but also insurance. Both of these players have demonstrated that throughout their whole career. Shamit Shom played against him as well. He's clean on the ball, tidy, protects that back four. Manny Aparicio does that as well and probably gives a little bit going forward, but it's who can protect that area best. For me, who's shown it the most this season is Manny Aparicio. He goes forward, he protects that back three, he's been a leader. But again, Shamit Shom last year, Wheels in that final against Forge, he was a difference maker. I know everyone talks about Warshevsky, but he covered ground, probably 12 kilometers. He was all over the pitch, and he gave his team life. So this is a huge factor today.
Well, it was really funny. The stat came on the screen. He's never scored in the Canadian Premier League, yet he has one of the most watched goals that he scored playing for Bangladesh internationally a few months ago. So maybe today's the day where things align for Shamit Shom.
Okay, so wait a second. Jordan, you're going Warshevsky. That's kind of who you gave the edge to. Who did you give the edge to?
Salter.
Salter? Who did you give the edge to?
I'll roll with Toby. I know what to expect.
And what about
I'm going with Manny.
So you're going Manny?
Yeah, I'm going Shamit Shom.
Manu.
Okay. All right. Well, we were just right there. We're looking at Moosey, but we were looking earlier at Dan Klomp. He rejoined Cavalry in August. I mean, that was a player who was elsewhere and then came back, and that was a huge return for Cavalry. So when we look at the battle on the back line there, Noah Abatne, Dan Klomp. Wheels, you take it away.
Well, Klompy's my guy. I mean, he was the former player of the year in the Canadian Premier League, and Cavalry without Klomp, they lost a little bit of their swagger. First game back, he came off the bench and scored a late match winner in stoppage time. I just think he's pure class. Tommy Wheeldon Jr., you know that he was monitoring his minutes playing over in Belgium to see when or if he could come back. He's like, I'll fly over there. I'll pack him in my bag and bring him in the overhead carry-on. Like, we need to get him back. So he is Mr. Cavalry. He's back at home. And it's not just the defensive part, Andy, set pieces. And on a day like today, he is excellent on set pieces. For Noah Badney, like, he's an under 21 Canadian player and arguably one of the youngest players in this league with the highest ceiling. Yeah. This player can go on and have an incredible career, but I don't look at Batney just at him. It's Loic Cloutier, another under-21 player. Mbamio, another under-21 player that they brought in midstream. They have 3 very young, very talented center backs. And again, this is one of those questions heading into this game. How will they not only deal with the elements here today, but dealing with a really effective, a very dangerous front line in Cavalry?
Look, I always say when you talk about defenders, a lot of the times you hear them, you know, they pass well or they move well. No, it's defending. Can you defend first and foremost? Can you defend 1v1? Can you win your headers, win your individual battles? Can you clear your lines? Move that line up. Do you know when to drop? Now, both of them can do that very, very well. I think Abane, for me, I've loved watching him grow as a player. Yes, he can split the line and he plays threaded passes, very good on the ball, but I don't think tonight's the night where we're gonna see an awful lot from him. It's gonna be Dan Klomp. That's gonna be the one for me, because I think with his experience, his aggression, I think he'll have the edge tonight.
You got to play it long. Like, you have to play a little bit more direct. Like, Atletico Ottawa, they're a tidy team. Like, Abate's an exceptional distributor, but, like, what are you dealing with here?
You're not going to see much of that.
No, it's a different game, absolutely. I'm going to go a little bit deeper with the answer. I totally agree with Dan Klomp and his experience and what he puts out, what he shows week in and week out, and what he does for his team for Cavalry. But there's something there with Abate, and I just saw him in the tunnel as well. The look on his face, I'm going even deeper. The fact that he didn't win a Defensive Player of the Year, the fact that he didn't win a U21, he had this look in his eye that this is a day that's going to propel me forward. So I hope that ends up being true. I hope that he can go and wear that crown and put his team on his back defensively and show everyone that he can be that defensive beast that he can be. But this has to be the moment for Abate to take the team forward. And you're right, Wheels. He doesn't have to do it on his own, but everyone's calling. Everyone's seeing if he can do it on the big stage, and tonight we'll figure it out.
He has the eye of the tiger. You just have a teardrop coming from your eye right now with the cold.
I'm so cold, Andy.
People don't see him wiping his eyes.
I'm there sniffling every chance I get.
You're soft. Let's
Oh,
go.
man. Oh, that's so good. Well, before we get to the ultimate position, of course, the goalkeepers, let's hear from both of them, because Nathan Ingham and Marco Carducci spoke. And yes, Ingham still remembers last year and losing in the semifinal to Forge.
As bad as Forge was in that semifinal last year, if you look the second half of our year last year, we were worse than that. You know, our confidence was low. We had issues on the field. We just could not get past that hump. It would have been, you know, I don't think we were robbed of anything. Like, I don't think we were the right team to make the final. I think if we were, we would have been there. And I think if we would have made the final, we would have lost to Calgary, like, truly. Right. So I don't think we should have accomplished more. I think you kind of get what you deserve in the sport. It really does work out in the wash. And I was keen. I mean, it's good what happened because it springboarded us into where we are now. And that's, you know, a great place.
Full credit to Ottawa for the season that they've had. I think you look across their team, they've had some really big stand-up performances as well. Obviously, their attack has been very good, and I won't shy away from the fact that in the regular season we struggled to cope with that. But it's a final. It's one game, and all of that goes out the window. It's now just learning from it and preparing yourself for a 90-minute, 120-minute penalties, whatever it takes. So it's a different beast, and we're going to rely on that experience of being in finals, being in big games.
Yeah.
But knowing the opponent. Again, that's where we rely a ton on the staff in terms of the analysis and the preparation. We know this team very well. They know us very well. It's going to come down to the small margins, I think. But we know that we'll have to be aware. You know, you look at a guy like Salter, you look at Rodriguez, you look at Tabla. These are players who've had phenomenal seasons, and they're where they are for that reason. So we'll need to make sure that we're on our game, but we also know that we'll have done the work to prepare and make sure that, again, one off game, one final, it's an opportunity to win.
We love goals, talking about Salt Bay and Toby, but the guys who don't want to see goals scored are these two right here, Nathan Ingham and Marco Carducci. They want to do their part to stop as many as possible. So when we look at the battle now between the sticks, Jimmy, what are you watching out for?
Well, I'll tell you what, if I was a goalkeeper tonight, I would be telling my defenders, no pass backs. Do not pass that ball back to me today. Just put it in the stand. We've never seen anybody score from the stand. I don't want anything coming back to me. But look, I don't think you can say there's two more class players than these two. These two are absolute gentlemen. Carducci and Ingham, when you get to know them, what great guys they are. They are wonderful defenders. Carducci's got a championship, and after talking to Nate the other day, he is desperate to get a result tonight and win this. He really is. And I love the way both of them play. They both are aggressive in their approach. They both can play out the back, but tonight's not going to be that night. I think tonight's going to be the night where what keeper makes a mistake, because whoever makes a mistake could cost them a game tonight, and they've got to be clued in for 90-odd minutes tonight. But between the both of them, they're great keepers.
No, absolutely they are, and they're both leaders. And I think tonight is about making sure you can manage your emotions, right? Obviously, you want to stay warm. Obviously, you want to do everything you can to get that mental edge. But it's about staying in that moment. And Carducci and Nate Ingham have both had moments where they've slipped, but they also have taken their lumps and taken their hits, and now they're better for it. So tonight, can they put it all together? But for me, there's something when I look at Nate Ingham, it just feels like this is that moment. He said there's no pressure on the side, and he said that he's happy about the season. I call baloney. He knows he has to go and get this win to really solidify how great the season has been for Atletico Ottawa, and I hope that they can do it.
These guys, other than the fact that a goalkeeper shouldn't be a captain, like you just...
Let's not do it today, Wheels.
We're not
I'll save that for another day.
OSD on Tuesday.
But they're great guys. But they couldn't be more different in terms of their personalities. Like Nate Ingham, he'll just give you the unvarnished truth. He's got a little bit of an edge. Yes. He's a little bit unpredictable. And Marco Carducci, it's appropriate we're here in Ottawa because someday he's probably going to be working.
Oh, Councilman Carducci.
Working in Parliament. And I probably vote for him as well. He is that smooth. Again, I'll go back to it. Carducci's been there, done that before, and despite conceding more goals this year, I think this was Carducci's best season in the Canadian Premier League. I really do. He's a cancer survivor. The story's there. I just have to back Marco Carducci because I've seen him rise to the challenge and embrace the spotlight at big moments.
Well, Jimmy, you're right. I mean, if anyone passes back to the keeper, I mean, is that a fine? Is that like, what do you do?
There's going to be some strong words, believe me.
Start building up the snow on the goal line. That's what you do.
Strong words from Jimmy.
Build a snow fort, snowbank. But hey, the DJ, the party, it's still continuing here. The fans have definitely come out for this. They're not letting any of this get in the way of them cheering on their team. We've got more coming up as we work our way towards kickoff. Special guest James Johnson, Canadian Soccer Business Group CEO, joins me next.
Allstate and its 900 agents proudly support Canadian soccer at every level. Visit allstate.ca.
This sale is amazing. Whoa! Language? This is not a sale. Walmart's everyday low prices just feel like a sale.
Oh, so these aren't on.
Sale!
Sorry.
It's okay.
Right now, a teen burger combo is just $9.99. What do you think?
Wow. The patty's nice and juicy. Juicy burger.
So good. This is my go-to.
Best burger in Canada, easily.
Get your $9.99 teen combo today at A&W.
Which Ristorante pizza is your favorite? Whichever one you fall in love with, it's always Ristorante Pizza.
To support sustainable food production, BHP is building one of the world's largest potash mines in Canada. Essential resources responsibly produced. It's happening now at BHP, a future resources company.
The new lottery experience is here. For your chance to grab up to $100,000 inside the money machine, play the new Instant Money Machine ticket.
Go, 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 go. Breeze in the club, I might just pause. Look at my feet, come kiss my toes. I move my waistline fast and slow. I do too much, yeah, I do plenty. Friday and I just got paid. I can talk my talk for days. They love how I fling my braids. You know,
Keep your chest lifted.
let's go, let's go. Let's go, 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 go.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Advil, the official pain relief partner of the NFL. Advil, tackle your tough pain fast.
Play action game works so well, Tom.
Well, watch this. Just watch the defensive tackle on this run fake.
And it's not a heavy one, it's just stick the ball. It looks like he's rushing the passer, now he's got to play the run, now he's got to play the pass, and that time that it takes from the D-line to get in the backfield allows the receivers to get all the way down the field. And there's Bethune going to the 10. When those receivers get down the field, it opens up huge voids in the zone, and Stafford finds those so easily.
Here's Stafford throwing it out there in the flat. It has a nice little play here, and a big move for Xavier Smith, who followed his blocks. Another big gain and a first down. Man, this offense is doing whatever they want.
Yeah, and I think that's what I love about this offense. It's so multiple right now with Sean Vay. He really builds a package of plays. It's not just call one play. It's really a plan. And everything kind of looks the same. There, it looks like play action pass, but it's not. It's a screen.
Yeah.
So you run the similar looks, and they're all little different strategies, and it keeps the defense guessing all day long.
By the way, Curtis Robinson is in the game for Tatum Bethune, number 59. Another play action. Stafford. He's got all day. Lofted one in the corner, now throws it away. That was dangerously close, though, as Lenore tried to have a shot on it. And it's 2nd and 10.
And I just think that it's like a relentless part of aggressiveness through this early part of the game. 10 minutes in, it feels like, oh, probably a good time to run it. Next thing you know, play action pass, and he's trying to get another one. So they came off of that game in week 5 where they lost and said, we started so slow. We could never get into our rhythm, and today, totally different approach to their offensive side of the ball.
It's like the opposite. 49ers started like this in that week 5 game. Blake Corum lined up as a wide receiver now. Blitz coming. Stafford kills the blitz. Gets it to Nakua. Breaks the tackle. Puka Nakua on his feet and in. Touchdown Rams.
Oh, they're hyped up all right. Tough for this 49ers defense to get beat on get a beat on anything, and it's got him in a blender right now. What do they cover? Now you got Nakua on the screen. They tried to blitz him. Stafford reads it, gets you to a great play. They're operating and firing on all cylinders right now.
Wow. Rams have been playing good football lately. They look great to start this game as Mevis, second NFL kick, extra point up and good. Puka Nakua doing what he does best, following his blocks. 4th receiving touchdown of the year. And the Rams with a 14-zip lead early.
Hey, Sweaty. Sweetie, you good?
Someone stole my Old Spice antiperspirant. Now I'm smelling like perspirant.
I did. Force 24/7 sweat protection.
You did this to my pits.
Who invites a husky guy to an outdoor summer wedding?
It's like 100 degrees.
And because I sweat a lot, I went to Moore's and got a suit with a special fabric called Chill Flex that breathes and keeps me cool.
Oh, even in these inhumane conditions. Oh, I'm on fire.
Sonic, to me, in one word, I would choose success because I succeeded using it. I've tried to quit smoking over 10 to 15 times, and then I stumbled across Sonic, so I gave that a whirl, and I've been using them ever since. My wife looks at me today like I can do anything, and I'm a superstar for quitting smoking once and for all.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is highly addictive, only to be used by adults who are trying to quit smoking.
This is why the Solterra EV became part of our family. Safety and technology gets us home. Quick charge for extended range to roam. All-wheel drive for the whole family. The all-season EV.
Introducing the all-new, all-electric 2026 Subaru Solterra. It's must-see EV.
It's must-see EV.
Start streaming the latest HBO originals.
We need to find this crew.
Plus, the most anticipated series of 2026.
So it begins.
Get up to 40% off annual plans for your